Hi everyone, this is Off to Battle, and I'm responding to a news story. This is from Sports Illustrated's video game section. I wasn't sure that was a thing, but SEGA wants Creative Assembly to focus on Total War again. Anyway, Boss wants Studio to concentrate on specialty genres. Let's dive in. After the last-minute cancellation of live service shooter Hyenas, which was in development at Creative Assembly, Sega Sammy CEO Haruki Satomi revealed that via VGC that he wants the developer to refocus on what it always did best. As part of the process of structural reform centered on Creative Assembly, we intend to optimize the workflow and concentrate their resources on the development of their specialty genres. This very much implies that CA will shift its resources back towards working on the Total War series, its unique real-time and turn-based strategy hybrid with massive battles, or offline games in the RTS genre, as Sega's boss more simply put it. Two things about this. One, this should be a good thing. I mean, we've had lots of videos go around here about it gets only worse at Creative Assembly. This isn't worse. This is the comeback arc. This is the start of regaining the trust of the public, in theory. But the other thing is that after slashing and burning everything that is not Total War, you are left with Total War. I've heard that a sculptor was once asked, "How do you sculpt a horse?" And his answer was, "I remove everything from the rock that is not a horse, and then it is a horse." This isn't really shifting resources away from things that are not Total War. It is slashing the things that are not Total War so that they no longer exist and no longer compete for attention and resources and human thought at Creative Assembly. So it is narrowing the minds. Mass firings will do that. Several unannounced projects were cancelled at Sega's European studios alongside Hyenas, but with a renewed focus on Creative Assembly's core genres, it seems unlikely that any Total War title would have been included in that. Well, we don't know. We've had lots of speculation about that, but we don't know. Total War Pharaoh, made by Creative Assembly Sophia, is the series' latest release, but could not find widespread popularity among fans despite its great review scores due to a perceived lack of content for the game's price. Player numbers for the game currently trail those much older entities by a lot. They didn't actually mention the older entities very much here. CA's current flagship is Total War Warhammer 3, which started the year triumphantly with the widely acclaimed Forge of the Chaos Dwarfs DLC, but then got into a massive controversy due to the high price of the Shadows of Change DLC. Similar to Pharaoh, fans weren't convinced that the contents of the expansion were worth the high asking price. Yes. Combined with a general frustration about CA's lack of communication as well as the slow... Is it really the lack of communication, or the communication that we did get was essentially there to pour burning oil upon a dry tinder brush? The slow pace of bug fixes, this led to a massive revolt among fans and the review bombing of the game on Steam. After a series of well-received and fairly consistent patches following the release of Shadows of Change and the news that Hyenas was cancelled, it looks like the developers are starting to build some trust with players again. According to the Total War Warhammer 3 DLC roadmap from earlier this year, the Thrones of Decay DLC is supposed to be released this year, but with only a month to go, it looks like there will be a delay of the content pack. There are rumors that Creative Assembly delayed the DLC in favor of working on a free update that will add content to Shadows of Change retroactively, in a bid to make it a more complete product and measure up to fans' expectations. Again, these are unconfirmed rumors, though fans have so far reacted pretty positively to this possibility. I actually hadn't heard that one. It sounds like wishful thinking, but we shall see. Sega's new mandate for CA may get additional resources flowing the way of the Total War Warhammer 3 team as well, which in turn could make such a move more realistic. Yeah, it could, but I'm not sure it's additional resources. It's more like that there's nothing else left. But when I talked about the financials at Creative Assembly and doing their shot across the bow to Sega Sammy and saying, you can't cut any further. This is SimCity cutting the transportation budget. You can't do it. You'll completely destroy your own profitability, your own profit margins, if you cut that far. And Sega's like, okay, just focus on your core business. You know, the actual thing that you're supposed to be good at? Yes, well, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. And that's all for now, and I just wanted to relay this story and just give my reaction to it because this is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing for Sega Sammy to just, slap them upside the head and say, focus on your core business, because your core business is what makes us money. That's not a bad thing, and we should hope for more of it, but now we've got to see what they do with Thrones of Decay. And we don't know. We really do not know because communication... No, the bug fixes have been better. I don't think communication has been better. We'll see. Take care. Have fun.